Good evening and welcome to this joint broadcast of P Gurus and Ghana Shot. You'll be surprised, Mr. Sri Iyer will be joining us a little later because he's got some technical issues. But today we've just heard the Prime Minister speak a very powerful message. And to discuss all this with me are my colleagues, General Dushyant Singh and General Rajiv Narayanan. First, let me welcome both of them onto the show. Uh, Hello, good evening, and thanks for joining in the show so that we could discuss all these issues together. As and when Mr. Shreya joins in, we'll weigh in with his views also. But I think first, before we decide, we talk on will this truce hold or not. I'd like your views, each of you, on what the Prime Minister spoke. And I thought it was a very powerful speech. I've never heard a Prime Minister giving a speech like this to another country and to Pakistan very clearly. A lot of things have come out. Uh, I'll go with Rajiv first, and then we'll go to Dushyant. Rajiv, your views on his speech first.
So, speech was very powerful, and two major takeaways that I take. First is that nuclear saber rattling will not work. You hit, I will hit you back very badly. And number two, that what everybody was telling ceasefire, ceasefire, he made it very clear. What we term it in the military, this is a tactical pause. So we are not putting our guard down. We are there. You try anything, you're going to get it. So these were the two major takeaways that I found. That and the third point I will say is his indicator of use of homemade weapons, and having the latest technology which the people around the world didn't think that we could have.
Yeah,
These
I
were the
thought
three major takeaways.
your takeaways, Jan Dushyant.
Sir, as far as my view on the speech is concerned, I think he spoke like a global leader now, a leader at par with the US and China, knowing fully well that Trump had just announced that he was able to stop a nuclear war. I think the speech which came from the Prime Minister, he would have definitely been put into this. This input would have been given to him, and the way he spoke, I think he made it very clear that first, India cannot be controlled by US and China on Pakistan issue. I mean that was a message which went loud and clear. The second thing which I felt was that the he clearly brought to the fore the strategic supremacy of India in terms of what General Rajiv Narayan also said, that our homemade equipment, our valor to fight, our new age technology, which he mentioned very clearly. I think these were the messages which he gave. Our intelligence, our air power. I think he listed them very clearly as to what were the areas which were showcased in this particular response to this particular in this particular Ops Sindoor. The third thing which I agree with Jal Rajiv absolutely. This nuclear card is passe. If it is, if somebody is going to put nuclear card as a bluff in front of India, I don't think that's going to work in the future. And the fourth thing is, he said, Ops Sindoor is not over. Pakistan will be tested, tried, validated. If he is found to be faltering on these two issues, which he said, terrorism, and the second issue is that POK. I think these were very clear messages, and the fact that trade and terrorism, trade and talks, and water and blood will not flow together. You couldn't have asked for something more powerful than this from from a leader. I would start calling him as he has arrived at the stage. That would be
Yeah,
my
yeah, I think India has arrived on the global stage in a very emphatic manner. The way he's put it across, he's also given a message to the world, right? And he's
absolutely.
also very clearly said, look, Here is Pakistan, whose establishment has identified itself or with terrorists. And
Correct.
we spoke of the photograph in which terrorists and the army people were all together and all that. And I think a very significant thing which he spoke was that talks with Pakistan hereafter will be only on two issues. One is terrorism, and second is POK.
Yeah.
And this is a follow-up of terror and talks won't go together, terror and trade won't go together, and Pani and Coon can't flow together. Right. So here comes Shreya. Welcome to the show once again. And we've had a opening thing of what the Prime Minister spoke of and what were the impact points of his talk. So I'd like you to give me your views of what you felt about this talk and what do you think were the salient issues which he stressed upon. Shayarji, all yours.
Thank you so much, and my apologies. Sometimes the computer really screws up, and I just couldn't get the video working. Finally, I had to restart the computer. It takes its own time starting. That's why I'm a little bit late, but nevertheless, I'll be happy to coax this conversation along. General Ravi Shankar ji, did General Dushyant Singh or did General Rajiv Narayanan have a say so far?
Yeah, they've spoken. We've all spoken. We're
Okay. Wonderful. I thought this speech was very, very crisp, and it's making some things very clear. Trump tends to run away with his imagination sometimes, and we have all seen that thing in many cases. And now it is rumored that he announced this because Putin, who was supposed to announce a ceasefire with Ukraine, put a pause because probably one of his generals whispered in his ear, you can get 10 more billions if you get this one small borough or whatever. Just guessing here. And I think he wanted something because Trump is feeling the heat. They have also said that they have reset the complete tariff talks with China. One does not know what that means. However, the Dow, the stock market in US is very happy about it. So Trump is happy. If stock market is happy, Trump is happy. But be that as it may, India needed to assert itself, had to get the narrative back. And what we saw today, not just Prime Minister Modi, but if you look at the press conference that preceded it, the detail shown was breathtaking, and all those Western agencies who were lying through their teeth, knowing fully well that they were lying, are going to lose a lot of viewers. I mean, this might be the last straw on the camel's back. You don't take a conflict between two nuclear nations and say one guy won when that guy had completely been flattened. Israel has not taken out Iran's nuke sites yet, nuke storage sites yet. I'm just trying to give a sense of what India has accomplished. And that too, two nuclear storage sites? Are you kidding me? Almost simultaneously with supposedly the missiles being launched not from land, but from the ocean where they were not even expecting it. Remember, General Ravi Shankar, you and I talked about if you are going to try and stop a hypersonic missile, you need to stop it on its way up. I'm going to add that and say perhaps even supersonics have this kind of a feature that you need to stop them on their way up, not on their way down, because it is believed that the BrahMos that hit was traveling at supersonic speeds. Be that as it may, India, I mean, I said something at 3 o'clock today, I put that thing, I essentially said US and China will have to stop having wet dreams about being able to control India through Pakistan. That story has ended. There is no more of that stuff. So how India positions itself from here, how it basically, I think India should drive a hard bargain. I'm a US citizen, but I think India should drive a hard bargain in terms of what they are going to get for tariffs. And also India, I think, is in a position now where it has proved its mettle in terms of the new technologies. Who knew that Akash was going to create so much havoc? And yesterday, General Rajiv Narayanan laid the thing out bit by bit, piece by piece. That one has also gone viral. So I'm very happy with what happened. General Ravi Shankar, now the question, I'll come back to you because,
Okay.
we started with you. the main question is, how long will this truce last, in your opinion, sir?
Look, it all depends on how Pakistan reacts tomorrow. Okay. Will Pakistan have the guts to break this truce? It's a matter of guts. Or I wouldn't say guts. Will Pakistan be foolhardy enough to break this truce? And remember, you're looking at a country which has lived in denial of all these things for a long time. You have taken out their armor in one go for the past 30 years, ever since Ziaul Haq time. The nuclear weapon was a shield to carry out terrorist activities. Okay, and we all said he operates in the either end of the conflict spectrum, subterranean, human, this thing, and on the other hand was complete nuclear, on the other end of conflict, the, thereby denying the center. That whole story is changed. Okay, by today when he said, nuclear blackmail is off the table, that story is changed. Now Pakistan has to start thinking nuclear or terrorism in the same breath as conventional warfare. That's the first thing. The second thing is, now whatever has happened in Pakistan as a result of these strikes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Rajiv spoke, but let's just take that Kirana Hills story. Now, Kirana Hills is 10 kilometers away from Sargoda. It is not an accidental strike. It is a well-intended signal. Okay, so it's very clear that what has happened there is very clear, and Noor Khan Besto is there, and those chaps had that. So now you hit this. Which other country has been able to do it? Now, after this, if Pakistan goes and breaks a truce, they'll get two more there. End of story. So I don't see this truce not holding, but at the same time, there will be low-level actions on. I mean, that's the way I look at it. We'll have to be a little patient here to differentiate between low-level actions and how things are breaking. We'll have to watch their activities related to terror and how that behavior goes. The social behavior. I will not say terrorist behavior, the social behavior of the populace. Because it's just this terror is not supported just by the army. It is supported by the populace at large.
Yes, yes.
Right? That is something which we'll have to watch. And then it's possible that we might have to break the truce. Contrary to what everyone thinks, that will the truce hold because of them? I will say the truce might not hold because of us. These are my
Thank
views.
you, sir. That was a that's wonderful, sir. General Dushyant Singh, we have muted you because there's some background noise that's coming up. Please unmute and then start speaking. The question to you is the same, sir. In your opinion, who is going to break the truce?
Okay, I think the message is very clear in the speech of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister has said that Operation Sindoor is not over. We are watching Pakistan. So what it means is that if there is a terror target which has been responsible for any act in our country, he will be targeted. And here I am referring to those three musketeers who are there still standing. If we are able to find anything about them, let me tell you, there will be a strike. That is one message which has gone. So if that is considered as breaking the truce, so be it, we will do it. It is this fear factor which has to be brought into the psyche of Pakistan and its public. Unless we do this, the current truce is at at a risk of being broken by Pakistan, essentially because of the public pressure. I have been listening to a lot of Pakistani TV channels, and they are going gaga with victory. They're also celebrating it as a victory day, etc., etc. People are taking out marches in Lahore, Islamabad, I don't know what all. So there is going to be a lot of pressure on Pakistan. So I do not rule out certain hybrid activities being done by Pakistan, and that is one of the reasons why Prime Minister said that we are watching you. So there'll be a proactive action this time taken and not a reactive action. That's my take on it.
Thank you so much, General Dushyant Singh. General Rajiv Narayanan, I'm going to change a question for you a little bit. My question to you, sir, is we took out 2 possibly nuclear storage sites. How many more are there? And what are the chances that India might be able to go and take them out too?
I have been reached out from the highest levels not to talk on these issues. I understood from 2 things after that. The smile on the face of the DG Air Ops when he was asked the question, that was telling. And what statement the Prime Minister made, that the nuclear umbrella is out. I rest my case.
I thought I heard them.
Though they were told, it's gone viral all over the world. I've been getting
No.
calls from Canada, Australia, USA, God knows where all.
I've also been, given some kind of an indirect help. So I would recommend that.
Came not directly to me, but through someone whom I know.
Yeah. So,
And that
so my
all
my
these
my take,
videos are,
my take is that
you'll find all these videos will be downloaded and removed from the YouTube. But we told them I sent word back to them, it's too late. People have downloaded it and it's become viral. So, but that's the request. So I can't talk further.
and sometimes fear of the unknown.
That's the smile when he says thank you for Kirana, and the smile on his face is a dead giveaway. So, but
Thank you for telling us that Kirana Hill houses some nuclear installation. We did not know about it. Okay.
this
And
smile.
we've not hit Kirana Hills, whatever is there. Okay. I did not brief in my briefing yesterday. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I won't be able to add to it. There's
Okay,
plenty
thank you
more
so
to be
much.
added, which I have shared
Yeah.
with people. There's plenty more to be added, but I've been told no. I'm a good soldier. I'll obey. I won't do it.
General Dushyant, you wanted to add something. Once again, you're muted, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Basically, what I wanted to say is that it's always good to have some fear of unknown. Let it float in the air. Let the people keep guessing about it. I think people will get the message much more faster rather than telling it openly. And also, let me also share this fact that these things are not hidden. So that's enough.
Well, one of the things that
No, I would just wanted to add that I don't look at it as a truce. From what has been told by the Prime Minister openly, I see it as a tactical pause.
Yeah, tactical
You can
pause.
watch. You try do something, I'm going to smash you. So in the hybrid that General Dushyant said, I will not discredit the battalion action team actions that we call the BAT actions,
That will
because
go
now
on.
that he said that he doesn't accept the Shimla agreement, it's no longer the LOC. It's pre-71. It is ceasefire line.
Ceasefire line, yes.
Whoever captures whatever area is yours. So those actions also
General
we should
Ravishankar.
not discredit. That's why he said Op Sindur is not over. Uh, your levels of security are at the highest level.
General Ravishankar, I'm going to throw a hypothetical at you, and you can feel free to answer or not. But the
Yeah, we will
hypothetical is like this: there are four terrorists who come in, but they are intercepted and neutralized. Would that constitute an act of war? After all, they did have guns on them. Let us say that they even have the person marked out, the place marked out. From the equipment that India recovered, there is 100% proof of the intent. Would that constitute an act of war?
Yes, there's no doubt. There's
This
no doubt.
ambiguity has to stay. That's why दूसरे side will have dar, and that fear has to stay.
That will constitute the act of war. One, and number two, or counter to that has to be out of proportion. That's the next part of the story. It's one thing to say that it's an act of war and then keep quiet and no. The immediate hammer has to go back. It's no more that okay, we will talk, we will deny, all that nonsense. There's no denial left. There's no denial left. There's no giving evidence left. It's no more. No, earlier you used to say, oh, give us evidence about this fellow, then we'll take a call. No more evidence. Action is evidence. Action is evidence. Okay. I mean, I'll put it this way. I mean, if I were anyone, I will say, tell those guys to take their pants down, check it, and kill them. Period. The reverse can be done.
So this is what the Prime Minister said, the new normal.
Yeah, new normal.
Okay, I would like to add here. That whenever the hypothetical situation which Sri Ayerji painted is a very real situation, and it can happen, especially along now the CFL ceasefire line. In the past also, during Op Parakaram, this kind of an action was taking place, and retribution was going on. So what is going to happen is this retribution which was going on at that time will increase in intensity, will increase in its impact as far as terrorism is concerned. That will be the change which will come henceforth.
Thank you so much, General Dushyant Singh. So, viewers, I don't know how many of you watched the latest version of Sherlock Holmes. Coming something is the name of the guy. Richard Cumberbatch is the guy who plays Sherlock Holmes. There's a murder, and this guy goes to investigate, and there's somebody from the Scotland Yard, and he's just looking at it, and the Scotland Yard guy is kind of looking around with him, and he turns around and says, "Don't even think. You are annoying me." Basically, Sherlock Holmes knows when the Scotland Yard guy is thinking. So this is actually a very important point that we are bringing across. Look, anything, if we catch you, you are done. So 7 people, I think, were intercepted on 8th or 9th of May. We are trying to get that particular part of the speech of Prime Minister Modi. So we're going to play that thing in a moment. Then we'll go back to this point. Let's watch that.
फिर दोहरा रहा हूं, हमने पाकिस्तान के आतंकी और सैन्य ठिकानों पर अपनी जवाबी कार्रवाई को अभी सिर्फ स्थगित किया है। आने वाले दिनों में हम पाकिस्तान के हर कदम को इस कसौटी पर मापेंगे कि वो क्या रवैया अपनाता है। साथियों, भारत की तीनों सेनाएं
So Sthagit, I think, in my understanding, is like postponed, or it is
Stay. Stay means stay. It's a stay. Pause button. In fact, when this thing came out about the Pakistani foreign minister's statement about the ceasefire, at that time I was in India TV, and I told India TV guys that, look, the Indian statement is not going to be this. Indian statement would be that we are stopping operation. And exactly the same thing happened when the conference took place at 5:30 or so. It was ditto the same thing, because we understand our psyche. We know where what we are supposed to be doing, and I felt that was all cooked up, thing which was put on the internet without the full concurrence of India. I don't think there was a concurrence 100% on that tweet which the Secretary Rubio actually tweeted.
They tend to embellish it. Our politicians tend to embellish it. They're also learning the hard way that India, especially under Dr. Shankar, India doesn't hold back. It doesn't mince words. They are not the quiet type.
I'm surprised at Rubio, because Mr. Jaishankar, wherever he has been asked, he has been blunt. He said the only point of discussion with Pakistan is return of POK. There is nothing else to talk. And he has been standing that for almost 3-4 months. And if he has overlooked that, I would say that, POTUS and Rubio need a lot of learning in diplomacy.
Yes, indeed.
Well,
Just one second about US politics. See, the Democrats have the media machinery with them, and they also have part of the judiciary with them. And they are getting relentless because they've tasted blood. And now they are trying to blunt every executive order that Trump put out. So he needed a clear win that the Democrats couldn't do anything about. In my opinion, this was one such thing where he could claim it. Yeah, Modi might not be happy that he jumped the gun, but he claimed it. And of course, there is stoppage. It's not like they are continuing. So, uska theek hai, it's okay. But let India show their anger when they try to sign the free trade agreement. These are all overlapping. And I know it might not work out good for an average American such as myself, but I think America also needs to understand that it is overestimating what it can do, especially in regions of Middle East as well as in Far East. There is that realization, because why did they leave in the middle of the night from Afghanistan? That's a telltale sign, in my opinion, sir. Now let's go to the next point. General Ravi Shankar. Okay, so these guys have now their air defense systems are out. How long will it be before they bring it back? I mean, remember, if you have both countries, US and China, bent upon trying to bring Pakistan back up so that it can become somebody that you can keep constantly needing China, needing India, how long before they come back up and put their things? Would India be able to like preemptively ensure it won't happen?
look, how will they do it? Let's be clear about that. They
See,
can't
that's
get
what
no.
that's what the generals are good at. Yeah.
That you see, they can't get the Chinese equipment back. That's asking for trouble, right? China has to do a lot of introspection itself. And mind you, if you read the Chinese press, for the first 2-3 days there was a lot of euphoria. JC-10, this, that, and this is a deep seek movement for military equipment of China and all that. The deep seek movement is become a deep seek movement already, and in a matter of time, this is going to go down. And if you go, there's someone on the net who's already said, if there's a country which has gone deep inside and hit the nuclear assets of the other country, then the case is closed. And the other country has not been able to repair, the case is closed. And this statement is very powerful. And that's, I'm sure, Chinese know. So Chinese equipment is out of the equation. So Pakistan has to get stuff from where? France, USA, Europe. Who will give it? Where's the money? So you think all this can be made up? Look, it's not only AD equipment which has gone. AD equipment is useless. Whether it's gone or not is not the point. They have lost. They definitely have lost, that AVAX kind of a thing, AEW aircraft. They have lost few aircraft more. They're complete. They also had some, equipment from America, part of the AD system. That's gone. Okay, who will replace it? This $1 billion is, short change for what they have lost. The army has been decapitated. Please understand that.
So the strategic
General Rajiv, your points, and then I'll come to you, General Dushyant Singh. Yeah.
Along with that, the complete strategic and operational communication network, land communication, there were two major hubs. One was in Pasru, other is near Multan. I'm forgetting that name. I used to remember it in my younger days when we were there, that this was the network through which the strategic messaging to all the core headquarters and what the core headquarters would send, line communication. That has been destroyed. Now he has to open up his radio set, everybody will get to know. How does he put it back? Like I add to General Shankar, where is the money?
Where's the money?
There is no money. So to protect him, the Americans have come with their boots on ground. I'm sure they will ask for a base there. Like they have landed in Bangladesh. Bangladesh, so you suddenly found the whole tone and tenor change the moment they found the thrashing that Pakistan is getting.
वो तो छोटा कुत्ता हो गया यार.
So now which airborne division has come is not known. I don't know whether it has come. Some say 101 has landed. I knew of special forces having landed there. They're going to take a base there, and that is the end of the Jamaitis there. What happens to Yunus is the next question. And similarly, what happens to Asim Munir and Shahbaz Sharif is up in the sky. How long will they last?
General Dushyant Singh, your point, sir.
Well, I have a slightly different take on it. What I feel is, I mean, that's my assessment, that you see, China is not the natural choice now because of the kind of attrition which has been caused on the Pakistani military. So this is a chance which also US might grab. You see, US has been actually fighting for a base in Pakistan. It had lost 11. There were 11 bases initially in Pakistan. Out of that, none are there today. So, in return for a base, America may just dole out. In any case, they have been doling out, periodically some kind of a grant to the Pakistanis, despite the fact that they know that they are responsible for all the terror attacks, despite the fact that they know that Osama bin Laden was housed there. I have attended, and I'm telling you now from personal experience, I have attended a open public discourse where the GOC 12 Corps of Pakistan and DGISI were being grilled by the Pentagon and the DNI, Director of National Intelligence, on what have you done to the $6 billion aid which were given post the the first Afghanistan war. Yet they ended up giving them again loans and grants. So my take is that the US might take this as an opportunity to somehow get back at China and keep this Pakistan in that liquid oxygen and remain as some kind of a leverage some kind of a leverage for it to exploit anywhere, either towards Pakistan or towards China or towards India. And hedging strategy has always been the game of the US. Having written a book of the entire CIA exploits, I think I believe that these guys are capable of doing anything like this, something like
That's
this.
what I was mentioning, that they're taking at least one, if not more, bases they will have in Pakistan now. And the current or the future dispensation of Pakistan will do nothing about it. They'll just bend over backwards to take it, because that they will see as a cover for protection against India.
Let's take from this point forward. General Ravi Shankar, we know for a fact in Gilgit-Baltistan, there is an enclave that consists only of Chinese nationals inside the city of Gilgit. It's a walled city with perhaps 1 lakh people. If you go into that walled city, the signs are all in Chinese. And the locals are allowed there just to do menial jobs or maybe tour guides at best. Be that as a situation, if US also goes and acquires some land and builds a base there, do you see a problem here? I mean, I see a problem. India cannot just go and smash up that part in order to grab Gilgit-Baltistan.
Look, our Prime Minister spoke of a new normal.
Yep.
The new normal consists of all these things. There's going to be a strategic shift here. We don't consider Gilgit-Baltistan and the Chinese city in isolation. We also have to consider it in the larger thing as what's happening in China and what's happening to China. I'll put it another different manner. Will CPEC be tenable anymore for China? The bigger question out of this whole story, if now the Americans come and put a base or two here, and if we see, look, today whatever is happening on the streets of Pakistan is euphoria. It's euphoria of drug addiction. It's addictive euphoria. But tomorrow, when this whole, the day after the hangover goes off, and suddenly you realize, and suddenly, look, the military guys are the first who will know the Nanga Pangu. That's what I put out, Nangu Pangu. Now, what do? How do you support these, CPC activities? Now, with all this, if Pakistan doesn't buy Chinese equipment, why will China come and invest in Pakistan? There are a lot of changes which are going to happen. I mean, let's be very clear. today, if you ask me what will happen to them, I don't know. Tomorrow, I really don't know. What will happen to Pakistan itself? We are glibly speaking of something over which we have no control, over which Pakistan itself has no control. So I think there are going to be great changes in this area. The people of Pakistan might, if they assert themselves, then Pakistan army is in trouble. You're looking at the joker in the jail. You know, what happens to him? If he's revived, Pakistan will go even bad. I mean, it'll go in a different direction, but the direction won't be up, it'll only be down. So I think there are a lot of issues which, are not factored in. And in any case, the Prime Minister has very clearly said that the Indus water is not returnable. There's no reversal on the abeyance of the Indus water treaty. So many things are going to change after this. That new normal, those two words have a lot of depth. So we don't know. So and I think the Chinese would have started thinking about it, and we'll have to see. If CPEC goes and things like that, there are a lot of issues. Then there might be a backlash in Tibet. See, there are many things which are opened up. And today, earlier with Sanjay Dixit, I was speaking. If what has happened here, you look at a domino effect on Tibet, you look at the thing that already the Chinese feel that the infrastructure we have is quite a bit enough to make us offensive, and they've started thinking defensive. They have 3 defensive lines in Tibet. It's no more offensive. So there are a lot of changes which are happening, and look at their own military. General Rajiv Narayanan and I have spoken about it. The PLA is shaky at best. Their polity is shaky. Their economy is shaky. Are we looking at a different story altogether? That is the bigger thing.
So I would add to what General Shankar is saying. Even as we are talking, BLA is striking in Balochistan. At the moment, it started at 39. At the moment, the count is 71 places where they are throwing out the frontier corps. There are many, many places where they have raised the Balochistan flag. They have openly reached out to the US and the UN that I know of. I don't know of the other countries to recognize that. I'm just waiting for when they will say that we will give you that Jacobabad base. Jacobabad used to be a very big base when ISAF was fighting the Taliban. They just have to give that word. We'll give you that base. That's it. Balochistan is out. The redrawing of borders of Pakistan will commence. And in that, Gilgit-Baltistan, the latest map 2013, which was presented to the Congress. And by the way, sir, it is bipartisan. When I say bipartisan, means both Republicans and Democrats are very clear on that. Like they were clear on Iraq. Gilgit-Baltistan is with India. They can keep 1 lakh. You will just be told, you walk up there and say, please go. We'll give you the vehicles. You can go. You think the Chinese will turn around and say anything? They'll just go. As long as we give them the assurance that we will, when we are there in control, we will not permit the Uyghur terrorists to come and create havoc in Xinjiang, they will be happy. But that is the key you will have with them. You try to trouble me, I will let them go. You will have the key on China.
Yeah, you start asking Shankar Valley back.
Yes, you will have the key on China. So these are I feel these are the new normals as I see going ahead.
No, even the Prime
Minister. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen tomorrow suddenly. But over this period of year or so, or maybe slightly more, these changes will start emerging. The new normal, what it is, will start emerging what it is.
In any case, the Prime Minister said, no, 1 minute, let me, 1 point. In any case, the Prime Minister has said that the talk with Pakistan will be only on POK. So POK will get reopened. You reopen POK, Shaksgam Valley gets reopened. So that, there's a change. Yeah.
Thank you so much, General Ravi Shankar. General Dushyant Singh. See, I see this enclave inside the city of Gilgit as a problem for India, just as I see the port of Gwadar for Balochistan, because that is squarely in Balochistan land and it is essentially being occupied by China. We don't know the terms of occupation. It could be a 99-year lease like Hambantota. I don't know. For me, that could be a defining moment when Balochistan Liberation Army overruns Gwadar, and that would be like there's nothing else to stop them from declaring independence. Maybe somebody will come in. Your thoughts on that, sir?
First of all, for any action like in Gilgit-Baltistan, which you are referring to, that it should come to India, it cannot be a unilateral, I think, action. India may not be taking a unilateral action to get Gilgit-Baltistan on its own side. It has to be triggered by a number of incidents. Maybe, for example, a public uprising, which can be fomented, of course. There are ways and means to foment a public uprising. Then the second thing which can be that there is a kind of an international opinion which is going against the Pakistani state, and which gives you a reason for entering into that particular area. And also, like he said, the leverage which we have to have with the Chinese to play that Uyghur card. I think it has to be a number of events which can actually lead to Gilgit-Baltistan coming to India. I don't see it happening in the near future. It is possibly a long-term possibility, not definitely in the next 5 to 7 years. I don't see this thing happening.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We are 40 minutes into the program. We have a lot of questions. Let's try and see if we can at least go through a few of those, if you don't mind. Siliguri Acres, thank you for becoming YouTube member. Rohit Bhogle, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Smile, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Mohan, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Nagendra Prakash, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Prashant Sundar, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Narayan Swami, Coimbatore, India, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Toffee, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Govinda Guru, thank you. Vivek Berry, thank you so much. Dandu Verma, thank you so much. Nikhil Balyan, thank you so much. Sumit Ghadge, thank you for becoming YouTube member. RB, thank you for becoming YouTube member. Surya Santosh Chetty, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Shubham Upadhyay, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Anusha Sivaraman, thank you so much. Sir, PM also brought up 9/11 and London bombing. Very clear message to those countries as well. Very powerful speech indeed, historical. I'll let General Ravi Shankar take this one. The next question I'll direct your way, General Dushyant Singh.
Yeah, that brings, these two brings our own problem and put it on a global scale. That everyone is connected. It's everyone's problem. It's not just India's problem. And India is not trying to sort out its own problem, but this has connections everywhere. So I think it's a very powerful message. I completely agree with Anusha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And next question, Arun. Thank you so much. US, UAE, UK, Saudi know that India will denuke Pakistan. Did they know that? General Dushyant Singh. Sir, you are muted. 1 second, I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a very obvious.
Yeah.
It's a very obvious statement. We know that in a nuclear duel, we are very, very easily having the upper hand, both in terms of deliveries, in terms of triad, in terms of capabilities. So I think it's a given. What probably they know about it, and that is why this hurry to stop this particular conflict.
Next question is to you, General Rajiv Narayanan. You are muted, sir. Ajinkya Rajput, thank you so much. One small thing in the speech was a mention of clandestine services. This is the closest to a public celebration that those can have. Also, iceberg of actions was deeper than publicly can and should be acknowledged. General Rajiv Narayanan, please unmute yourself.
I have unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, whatever is clandestine has to stay clandestine. You don't openly talk about it. Then it's no longer clandestine. Covert stays covert, overt stays overt. You don't mention what covert actions you are doing, because then it's no longer covert, and then you compromise everybody who's working for you. So you never do that. Hints are given. What you do, hints are given, and that's where you leave it at that.
Thank you so much, sir. The next question is to General Ravi Shankar. Thank you so much, Sanver. I think India's AD being better than Israel is exaggerated. Israel intercepts far more advanced weapons than what Pakistan's toy drones. I could be wrong. Please educate. General Ravi Shankar.
Yeah, I think you're wrong for the simple reason, the number of, what it is a matter of how many are able to intercept. Okay. Iran threw over 300 once and once more, and that's it. You're getting a lagatar wave of 300 to 500 every night. How do you know they're toy drones? None of them are toy drones. They're not coming to play, games with kids. Most of them are either surveillance drones or weaponized. And you saw they were all those drones or Turkish drones which had acquired a fame and name. Everyone spoke Yeehaw and Bherektar and all. Can we do anything against them? All those have been bloody swatted aside. So I think you have to understand what we have been able to achieve is phenomenal.
Thank you so much, General Ravi Shankar.
Yeah.
Next question, please.
I'll just add in this. It is not the weapon itself which makes it effective. It is how it is integrated, and you have a proper command and control system to be able to use it effectively. That is what makes it potent. And that is where our Akash Tir came very potent. He has his Iron Dome, he has his Patriot, he has his Thad, but they don't talk to each other. And in this Akash Tir, even AD had come and AI was also integrated within that. Okay. That is what made it so potent. You're correct. We had S-400, we are MR-SAM, Akash, and then we had legacy guns which were upgraded and brought into play. Your L-70 of 60s, Zeus of 70s, and Shilka of 80s. They proved so effective because it was integrated, controlled with AI and satellite imagery and everything. So we forget always.
If you'd like to add.
10 satellites are still up there to give you ISR.
Dushyant, if you would like to add.
His perception is primarily because of an odd equipment being better than the sum of all the equipment we hold. But it is the way we organize these things into a layered defense system, networked thoroughly on a single network, with the army and the air force now connected to each other. That was important. Like the briefing, they said that by the time you reach a target, something or the other will get you. That, and also look at the area which we have to defend. I mean, you just can't compare India with Israel. Israel is a very small, it had a very small area to look at, whereas we have to look at almost 3,000 kilometers of a frontage. So I think we need to do a little better assessment of our capability.
And in that layered thing, I will just quote General Ghai, our DGMO, who quoted the 74 series, where the Ashes series where the English batsmen were butchered by Lilly and Thompson, and that famous statement in the Aussie press: "Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. If Thomo doesn't get you, Lilly must." That's what their defense was. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mahesh Narayanan. Thank you so much, sir. This question goes to Lieutenant General Dushyant Singh ji. Sir, buying any weapons from the US would be catastrophical for India. We can't have Trump or XYZ dictating to us whether we can use a weapon or not.
Absolutely true. I have been facing this thing in person also. I can tell you that they are looking for easy sales. We are looking for deep sales. And when we say deep sales, we mean lock, stock, and barrel, womb to tomb. If we get something like that, and if it is suiting our conditions, if it is meeting the requirement of our high altitude areas, if it is meeting the requirement of our deserts and plains, then only we'll go in for it. Whether we get it from a US, whether we get it from XYZ, that's not important. We will go for what is best for us.
So I'll just add one more point here, sir. That is why the Western media was going against the Rafale, because the French shared the source code with you so that you could mate your own homemade weapons with the Rafale, the DRDO's Astra and BVR and everything you could mate. And now he's opening up the MRO in India, that is maintenance, repair, and overall. That means everything is going to be made in India. And he's also made a statement that the fuselages will be made in India. Dassault has made that statement. Fuselage for the aircrafts will be made in India. Nothing of this comes from the West, or rather the Americans. That means if you buy an F-16, any weapon to be fired by the F-16, you have to buy it from Americans only. They will not give you the source code to fire yours. Now, understand that is why the US and the West were hyping up. When the French agreed to give the source code, look at the furor in UK and Germany. That what is he doing? That is the whole issue.
Thank you so much, sir. Would you like to add, General Ravi Shankar, on this?
No,
You
yeah, I
must
go.
add that you must read the Telegraph article in UK. It's absolutely, downplaying the assault. Kind of
See,
narratives
there
which
are
are going
bigger
on in the
games. There are bigger games in this, and that is why you see all these fellows supporting Pakistan and saying Pakistan is the winner. It is not one thing alone. Yeah.
Next question, please. And this goes to you, General Rajiv Narayanan. Shivraj Rani, thank you so much. What are the chances of Pak getting nuclearized? He doesn't want to answer that question. Well,
I've been told not to, so I will not go against that. I'm sorry. I will go.
General Ravi Shankar, you want to take a hit at that, shot at it?
The reason
Look,
being,
this
what
is
I had to say, I have already said. So they have said, don't. I agree.
Look,
Don't
the
elaborate.
point is,
Got it.
it's not gonna. This is not going to be an easy task. Remember, it's not going to be an easy task. It's not. You have to give one thing to the Pakistani generals. They know how to protect their turf. They know how to protect their interests. Forget about others' interests. Their turf is protected only when there is nuclear element with them. So it's not going to be an easy thing. And these guys are greedy guys. And they have duped everyone in the world, including the Chinese. You see, the Chinese also, they've taken loans. They keep taking loans. The Chinese also know these chaps are not going to repay. These chaps also know they're not going to repay. But they're making money out of the Chinese. They're milking the Chinese. I'll put it this way. These guys, Pakistani generals, they're not good at milking cows. They're better at milking bulls. Okay, they're good at milking bulls, so they will not let this go easily. So it's going to be a difficult affair as we go along.
Next question is to, again, General Rajiv Narayanan, because you passed on the last one, sir. Right Geek Project, thank you so much. Trump said we agreed for ceasefire to save trade. True?
Which trade? That's the whole
Free
question.
trade agreement. Free trade agreement.
Free trade agreement will take its own time. My whole issue with Trump is that this term, he is literally going all guns blazing to get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Bull price.
Nobel Prize.
So everything is peace, 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 peace. If Obama can get it, I should get it. And so that is what he is. I take whatever he says with a bucket of salt. Which ceasefire? Today's statement from the PM is very clear. It's just a pause. It's just a stay. There is no ceasefire. But Trump, Rubio, and our people in Pakistan can have orgasms on ceasefire. That doesn't mean anything. Ceasefire is two people. It takes two to have a two to tango. One side says ceasefire, other side says pause. And the one who holds the initiative says pause. The other side doesn't know what to do. So trade will take its own time. We will have it, as I see it, on our own conditions today. This was the biggest mistake with the under the Chinese help the Pakistan did. And what has happened in Op Sindoor, the reverberations of it will be felt far and wide. And now today you can dictate terms for your free trade. Please remember, even before this, when did you agree to the free trade agreement with the British? When in the parliament they named and shamed Pakistan regularly and they didn't call it the grooming gang, they called it the rape gang.
Yes.
Member after member came and named and shamed. Till then it was South Asian. They named and shamed Pakistan. Then you said, okay, come now. We'll sign the agreement. So same is
Very
going
true,
to be
sir.
done with the West and the US. It's not going to be, if Trump thinks, Bhai Sahab, he is dealing with two Gujaratis who have trade in their blood. It's in their DNA. God knows, from thousands and thousands of generations. It's not so easy.
Next
They
question,
take
please. This is for General Ravi Shankar. Thank you, Hunter Goldberg. Hi, generals. There is a plan going on to trap India like Germany before World War One. Need to be careful. India can buy some 2K22-Tunguska guns from Russia for drones.
You see, one of the characteristics of India is we doesn't get caught with anyone. And this has been our history for the past 70 years. So don't worry, India will not get caught with anyone. And let me tell you upfront now, will not get caught with Russia also. Okay, there have been times when we have told Russia also just stay out of our equation. Okay, it might not have been overt, but it might have been under the on the sidelines. So I don't have any issues with it. People have to realize that India has come into its own, and it's been time. And this is the probably the time when hereafter you have to have a say in the world affairs.
So,
Thank you, General
I
Ravi
don't,
Shankar. Next question is so.
one-
Go ahead,
one
sir.
minute.
Go ahead.
I don't agree to the premise of people trapping Germany before World War One. World War One happened because Germany was fighting for its rightful place, and it was not being given. Very little. They were in by 1884 or I think 85. They had the Congress of Vienna to carve out Africa. They found that others were having a larger say. They were not getting their say, and they felt that in the global order they should also be considered, and that is how the World War One started. Austro-Hungarian Empire, and rest is history. How it started, but they were not trapped. They were not trapped. They were denied.
General Dushyant Singh, would you like to add? Sir, you're muted. You're muted, sir.
okay. No. I think it's been discussed well.
Okay. Okay, sir. Next question is to you. Rajnikant Goswami, thank you so much. Namaste, sir. Status of Kaveri engine? Thanks. General Dushyant Singh.
It is still under development.
Next one, Vamred, thank you so much. General Sirs, theoretical here. Never in my, this question is to you, General Rajiv. Sirs, theoretical here. Never in my life thought 370 or Ayodhya would be resolved or current action. Your thoughts on getting back lost territory?
Step by step. Never be in a hurry. General Dushyant had aptly covered it also. Step by step. Create the movement. Get the things done. Then automatically it will fall on your lap. Take that. That has to be done. And this has given you the platform to be able to orchestrate all that. I told you also, it's not going to be happen in just a year or anything. It will take place. It will take its own time. Aega, but apne
Next one,
samay mein.
please.
It will take its time.
Next one, please. Happy days. Thank you so much. Sir, we still have about 28 questions to go through. So I'm just going to request all of you, if you could just take your turn to answer the question. That way we can hopefully finish this fairly quickly. Happy days. Thank you so much. People are forgetting India guards a 3,000 odd kilometer border with Pakistan across mountains, deserts, and plains, while Israel secured just 60 kilometers along Gaza. Just a statement. Agreed. Let's go to the next question. Thought provocateur. This is for you, General Rajiv. It's like before blindfolded Gandhari USA is able to give shield to Duryodhana Pakistan. Sri Krishna India created chink in the shield to finish him later.
You want, you will finish him at your own terms.
Next one, please. This one's for General Ravi Shankar. Pawan Kishore, thank you so much. Alongside Army, Navy, and Air Force, India should include cyber and space quadrants to defend the realities of future warfare. General,
that's part
General
of the ideas. That's part of the ideas. That's part. This thing will come up. Don't worry.
Next one, please. Sajid Kumar, thank you so much. This is for General Dushyant Singh. Like our government showed video with timestamp of Jammu airbase intact, why don't we show video of 36 Rafales with serial numbers and debunk Pakistan propaganda?
We'll leave it to the government.
Next one, please.
We don't have to react to
AA.
everything. We
Yes,
don't have
yes,
to
very.
react to everything.
नेक्स्ट वन, थैंक यू सो मच ए। हेलो सर, आप लोग भी कोड वर्ड्स में बहुत कुछ बयां करते हैं। मार्शल साहब स्माइलिंग असैसिन है। आई फील सो कॉन्फिडेंट नाउ, गेम चेंजर सर। मार्शल साहब, हु इज द मार्शल साहब?
I don't know. He must be
नेक्स्ट
probably
क्वेश्चन प्लीज। Thondup Andrukstang, thank you so much. Jai Hind to all the generals and Sri Aji, thank you so much. Next one, please. Ram Bhakt, thank you so much. Rajiv Narayanan sir, and sorry for the trouble. Because of your explanation, we could counter anti-government narrative. Government should spread info about nuclear attack. See, people are saying the opposite of what you've been told to say, sir.
No. See, like I said, the smile of the DG Air Ops and the term used by the PM in his speech that they can no longer use nuclear cover for terror attacks tells everything. So I abide by what.
Certain things cannot be told.
No.
There are certain things which have to be understood, read between the lines.
Just keep a track of what all activity is going on in Islamabad and all these places. You'll get to know. OSINT is there. They will tell you.
And thank you so much, Brahmanand Tale. Next one, please. Don't be humble. Thank you so much. Sir, why doesn't India support BLA by sending troops? This is for General Ravi Shankar.
No, we don't have to send troops. They have enough troops. We just have to help them. And I'm sure people are.
We are giving ISR feed. I might share this much ISR feed to both BLA and the KP area. That's more than enough for them if you're giving them ISR. They'll handle them.
Thank you so much, Yuma Shankar, for becoming YouTube member. Thank you so much, Saumyam Lata. Sham Tarun, this is for General Dushyant Singh. Sham Tarun wants to know. Thank you, Sham Tarun. Next, we fix Bangladesh.
Yeah, you have to give a trigger to them, trigger to us.
Next one, please. This is for General Rajiv. Right Geek Project, thank you so much. Was US the ultimate winner in this? US and China agree on trade deal after ceasefire. US used this to put pressure on China. Connecting dots?
They've not had a proper trade deal as yet. It's 90 days and they've reduced it by 115% on both sides. So 245 minus 115 is 130. Okay.
Yeah.
So they are still charging each other 130 and it's just 90 days. US will review after 90 days. And yes, because whatever they had, which they claimed were world class and everything, have turned out to be duds in this war. So a certain amount of pressure the US would have been able to place, but the trade deal is not a done deal.
Yes, sir. General Ravi Shankar, you wanted to say something?
No.
Okay, let's go to the next question. This is for you, General Ravi Shankar. Thank you so much, Nagendra Singh. We have shown our military, diplomatic, and strategic might, but we lost narrative, or at least we should have taken few more wanted in exchange of pause of war for general voters to show your victory.
Look, narrative building has always been our weakness right from beginning. That you can not push away. And you have to understand that the Pakistanis have been good at this narrative business from long. In fact, they overdo it, but they're very smooth at it. And they've been aided by the Chinese narratives. And they've been also aided by a large section of Western narratives. You're up against three. Okay. And in this, I also feel that a lot of our narrative, all their narratives have been swatted aside by the fact that truth has its own narrative and its own power. And that has coming through. People have started saying this. So I think it's a matter of time. We shouldn't get sidetracked by what has, narratives have no play. In fact, the narratives have clouded and messed up the Ukraine-Russia war. I'm glad we didn't fall for it and, didn't divert away from what we were supposed to do.
I would like to add here that we are not losing the narrative war. Just read the Australian Sky News. It says the Pakistanis are now trying to imitate the DGMO type of a conference in their side. So we are this time, actually, in my opinion, we are one step ahead in narrative. You may look at it only from a point of view, articles which are coming across in the West, and they are motivated not by the war. They are motivated, like we
By
just said,
other actions.
due to other considerations.
Next question, please. And this is to you, General Dushyant Singh. Crazy Driver wants to know. Thank you, Crazy Driver. Should India have taken out more sitting aircraft, reset the clock by a decade or two?
Well, we would like to take down the entire military of Pakistan, but there is a time frame penalty, and there are going to be
And I would,
loss. We have to calculate how much is required by which we are able to achieve our aim. I think optimization of effort is more important than going for such like emotional objectives.
most of the
Thank you
places,
so much,
some
sir.
hangars and shelters were also taken out, but not to that much. So whatever was in those hangars and shelters have gone.
We have also
Thank
demonstrated our capability. That is also you must see. We have demonstrated our capability to hit you wherever we want, whenever we want. In the process, we have damaged a lot of assets.
And what is missed in all this is the ISR, that
Yeah.
you have clear ISR of every bit of Pakistan.
Unpack
Intelligence.
ISR for us, sir.
Intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance.
Oh,
Every
wow.
bit of what he talks, what is where, what is placed where is known to you. That is how the strikes on the Air Force has bases have also been precise, very precise.
Thank you so much, sir. This question is to you, General Rajiv Narayanan. Don't be humble. Thank you so much. Pak is hijacked by terrorists and not by army anymore. They will cross LOC soon. So will India take over POK and free Balochistan immediately?
I like your bloodthirstiness. It will be better served in the front line. Firstly, let us be very clear. There is nothing called hijacking by terrorist or army. Pak army or Pak terrorist is all the same. You saw when they were doing the funeral service of the senior terrorist leaders, the Pak army was in full uniform standing behind
Yeah,
a proscribed UN terrorist. Okay.
the Prime Minister mentioned that.
Yes. And one of the spokesperson clearly mentioned of how they achieved tactical brilliance in Pulwama. Thank you very much. That is the Army of Air Force officer talking. And he says tactical brilliance in Pulwama. So there is nothing called terrorist or army. It is an army of terrorists out there. That's it. The DGISR, the DGISPR, that handsome is the son of a proscribed terrorist.
Yeah.
His father was very close to Osama bin Laden, and he's been proscribed not just by the rest of the world and UN, even Pakistan. Uska beta hai, Lieutenant General who is DGISPR. So there's no difference within them. एक ने एक ड्रेस पहना हुआ, दूसरे ने दूसरा ड्रेस पहना हुआ.
Thank you so much, Amrit Lakshmi, for your super sticker. Sir, you wanted to say something?
I said they are second line, third line defense. They're all part of the Pak army. It's all one.
Thank you, Prodigy, super sticker. Next one. Thank you, Kshitij Sinha. The question is to you, General Ravi Shankar. Jai Hind. We have heard everything that went well. Can you all point out some improvements that can be made, or rather must be made based on this specific op?
Oh, there'll be a lot.
Shankar.
There'll be a lot. There'll be a lot of things which have gone wrong in this thing, and it's okay to say now that everything went well. There are a lot of glitches would have come up, and this is not the time for me to start saying we didn't go well, that didn't go well. Let things happen. Let things.
I would only add, why discuss it in the open and give the loophole to the enemy?
Very
Army, Navy,
logical.
Air Force, the tri-service will do it themselves.
They'll do it.
I have
Don't
full
worry.
faith in them. They'll do it themselves.
Next question from Raghav Shukla. Thank you so much, Raghav. Pakistan brought to knees in 4 days must have sent chills to Chinese spine. China has hundreds of billions at stake now. What do you think India and its people have to prepare for, and how can we people contribute? General Dushyant Singh.
I think we have to continuously prepare our defense forces to remain robust and be prepared for any eventuality from the northern adversary. That's very important, because even northern adversary is known to do certain stupid things at times of, when it is put under a little bit of a pressure. We should not lose sight of that. It's a huge area, and I think we would be faltering if we are totally over obsessed with the western border.
Thank you so much, sir. The next question is for General Rajiv Narayanan. Mahipal Singh, thank you so much. Pranam stalwarts, educate on F-16 of Pakistan and THAAD.
The F-16s has been given by the Americans. They actually, that is where you have Americans on the back foot, because the clause that the Americans have always said is they're not supposed to use it against us. You downed one.
And they've used it.
And they've used it. Okay. So after that, we didn't see the F-16s being used, but that's too little too late. He already used it. Our air defense was good. We knocked it down. As far as the third is the terminal high altitude air defense, which is the American one. They had been pushing for that when we went for S-400. Marks to Manor Parikar and Shankar, who stayed down the Americans, the Katsa, and they bought it. And
next one, please. Thank you, sir. Next one, please. Prasad Babal, thank you so much. This is for General Ravi Shankar. Rajiv, sir, thank you for the word nuclear.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy.
Prasad ji, like I said, I've been requested no further talks on that, so I've stopped.
Sai Kiran Sharma, thank you so much. Major General Narayanan, are you also associated with Pravartak IITM? Campionite Bhopal here.
Through General Shankar.
Yeah, we are all
his fault.
Same
it's
boat.
all his fault. Next question, please. Mahesh Narayan, thank you so much. This question is to you, General Dushyant Singh. Sirs, while we hammering Pakistan's air bases, Kirana Hill, etc., could we perhaps have hammered Karachi port a bit more, made it totally dysfunctional?
Well, at the outset, let me clarify: we did not hammer Karachi post. We have just presented the threat of hammering it, and that was enough. So if we have to thrash it, we will be able to do it anytime. You should have heard the briefing.
We hammered Malir.
Yeah, I'll just add one more thing here. We had prevented all oil tankers from entering Karachi.
Basically, it was a blockade.
So when you were looking at the maritime shipping, because of that, when we stopped the tankers from getting into Karachi, no ships got into Karachi. So that's a blockade that is still going on.
There are certain things called there are certain things called deception in war. So the posturing of the Navy was to confuse the enemy from where we are coming. Otherwise, they would have been taking care of their major assets here, which we have hit.
Thank you so much, Abhinava Saha. The question is for you. Who did I leave it last? General Rajiv Narayanan. Hi, sir. I'm an avid defense investor, but I don't know if this was really the right time for PM and DM promoting defense equipment too much like US.
Why not? Our own defense equipment has worked. If others can do it, why should I not do it? This we have shown them as an example to the world. And I'm sure a whole lot of African and Southeast Asian nations and even Latin Americans will be looking at it very keenly, what we have done. And Akash, by the way, has proved its worth in Armenia also. So, why not, yeah? Dhanda hai, yeah? Kyun nahi?
Thank you so much.
Now, I want to highlight one thing. You must realize that just 3 days back, the defense minister went and opened, 3 days or 2 days back, opened a wing of BrahMos in Lucknow. What is that? Capacity enhancement. Why is it happening? Because you have to give to Philippines, you have to give to other people also. Now you will have to probably have more.
You see, Russia is supplying S-400 during war. I think, why are we going around here and there? It's all over. We got our 3 regiments, 3 squadrons during war, while the Russians are fighting a war.
Thank you so much, Infotech News Networks. Next one, please. HR, thank you so much. Posts on X about sirens in Samba and Amritsar. Thoughts on BLF video message to India. I think I also heard that the Delhi-Amritsar flight got diverted back to Delhi because there were drones in the space. And this question is for General Dushyant Singh.
Yes, sometimes we also have to do surveillance of our own area. How do we know they are Pakistani drones? So we are not very sure. I can't comment on it.
Next one, please. This is for General Rajiv Narayanan. Sachin, BK, thank you so much. Evening Generals, how effective is the idea of dropping our 5th gen fighter program and jumping to 6th gen due to our time delays? We can fulfill our 5th gen requirement with Su-57 and F-35 if needed.
We should not stop our 5th generation. That should carry on. Now I know that the GMCA, which is the 6th generation program of the UK, Italy and Japan, there was a time when Japan was hesitant to permit you. Today Japan has agreed. What is the agreement? Where exactly do you fit in? How much money? It is not just that he said, okay, aa jao, so you just jump in. You got to read the fine print. As far as the F-35 is concerned, it's a white elephant. Yep. Nobody is buying it. I don't think we should touch it. Su-57, well, the Air Force officers will be able to comment better. We walked out of it because a lot of things that was supposed to be given was not given. Now it is there. Do they want it? Why should I comment on whether this will serve the purpose? It is for the Air Force officer to decide. They walked out of it. I fully subscribe to what they think about it. Period.
Thank you, Akshar. My takeaway, apart from new normal, is that operation is still on. If it tries anything, price will be higher, and order them to vacate POK or else face the music. That is balkanize and denuclearize. General Ravi Shankar.
No, look, fine. That's your view. I mean, let's see how it unfolds. The thing is, will he try anything? That's the big question, especially after what the Prime Minister said today. Will he try anything? If he tries anything, he'll get it on his neck, and then naturally things will go up. Don't worry.
I think the DGMO also made it very clear.
Very clear.
If they try, they will get it.
And this time they hit very hard.
Yeah.
Indian Nomad wants to say, Akhnur. No. Hold on. Let's not jump that far. We have Indian Nomad saying Akhnur with drones now coming. Ceasefire violation. Thank you so much, Indian Nomad. It's just an observation. Let's move on to the next one. Manu NM, thank you so much. This question is for General Rajiv. General Ravi Shankar, it's for General Ravi Shankar specifically. How soon will we make chicken neck to become elephant neck?
It's already become an elephant neck. Don't worry. It's gone. Look, you have to understand, it's not the physicality of a piece of ground which is important. It is the strategic importance and the strategic construct you make around that. Today, after what has happened here, the chicken neck has already become an elephant's neck, and with what's happening within Bangladesh, this is an irrelevant thing actually now. I mean, we must worry about it, but it shouldn't occupy our senses too much.
Thank you so much, sir. Next question is for E, and this is again back to Rajiv Narayananji. Bechara, she's military industrial complex. So does any country company want their equipment to fall into hands of Pakis? Gajab bejati hogi. Every war, Lockheed Martin will be think, how did you lose F-16?
So I have always held the opinion it is not just the equipment, it's the man behind that equipment which is important. Now, where have the Pakis gone wrong? From 86, they have shifted their complete education to Sharia Hadith of the 8th century. When that is the man who's coming out of the street, how does he absorb this latest technology and start working with it? He's not taught that. He doesn't know anything. Can you believe it? This man's father, DG ISPR's father, after being a nuclear scientist, started doing his research on jinns and to create electricity from jinns. That was his PhD. So if that is the thought that jinns will come and they will do something, you give him any equipment, what can he do? I think that is one which is worrisome. Number two, China, as far as F-16 is concerned, as far as China is concerned, their equipment has been proved to be a big dud. Whatever claims they gave that it will be able to track this, so much speed, this, that, they couldn't track anything. Nothing. And whereas at will we have gone and destroyed their radar complexes. So it is China which has to worry, and Lockheed Martin will have to rethink that. Americans will have to rethink, should we give our equipment to these people who can't absorb technology? Those days of 80s, 90s are gone. This is a new normal and a new reality as far as Pakistan is concerned.
Thank you so much, sir. Next question, please. Sunny Reddy, thank you so much for your super sticker. Bhupesh Madhavan, thank you so much for your super sticker. Shrikant Kavuru, thank you for your super sticker. Last question to General Dushyant Singh. Bhupesh Madhavan, thank you so much. Sir, what happens of Asim Munir? Sorry for the spelling mistake. It's deliberate.
The pun is understood. The pun is
I've
understood.
already been, I've already been professing either he'll be removed or he will run away. Very soon, very fast.
One of the predictions one of the astrologers was giving, which I was just watching, was that he'll get hung.
I said either he'll be removed by one of his corps commanders or he will run away before that.
This was before Op Sindhu.
No,
What
this
happened
is,
after Op Sindhu, I don't know.
this is my assessment.
Well,
I mean, I've been,
that brings us to a close of a fantastic session. The last question. This is for General Rajiv Narayanan again. Saurav Roy, thank you so much. Jai Hind, sir. I always wanted to serve my country as an Air Force officer, but I was unable to qualify due to physical parameters. But now I feel so proud after watching the superiority of our armed forces that I'm serving my country as a taxpayer. Wonderful job, Saurav. Thank you so much. I think this brings us to a close of today's program. What a wonderful session we had. Thank you all, the good generals. We're going to have the 3 good generals as a hashtag, so that every time you all come on our show, we'll put that hashtag and they'll know what to expect. Thank you once again, gentlemen. Namaskar.
Jai Bharat.
yeah,